Hey everyone.
Hey everyone.
I'm Adam Stahura, the Director of Sales with the Sprigler team, and this is...
I'm Kurt.
He is the Sprigler behind the Sprigler team.
Yes.
We wanted to do a video and share with you guys some of our notes that we got from going to Mega Camp.
With beers.
Yeah.
It's a long day. It's been a really long day.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, yes. So hopefully we can have some beers and we can do some teaching and sharing some knowledge.
But there was some really great information, and obviously we can't go through all of it because there's a ton of information. So what we're going to try to do is highlight the first section, go through some of the things that we've learned, and then we'll of course add some other videos and kind of wrap everything up in subsequent videos. So make sure that you subscribe so you can keep up to date with everything we have going on. So the first thing that really stuck out to me was lead generation. And there's a lot of different ways to lead generate, and of course, obviously, the main thing is picking up the phone. Everybody says pick up the phone, and start calling people. But the way that I've always liked to do it is obviously picking up the phone and calling people, but then also looking at it from an organic standpoint, putting out meaningful and valuable content that people are really going to enjoy. When you think about it, you know, Facebook, as they were mentioning, is really kind of voyeurism. People are out there just watching and looking at things. And you can put out a lot of things that people are just going to look at, but are you really capturing and are you really engaging with the audience? And that's one of the things that they really, really drove home, because it's having that meaningful connection with people that they're really gonna reach out to. So focusing on that. And of course, one of the things that Kurt always talks about a lot is the FORD, F-O-R-D. So when you're talking to people, either on the phone or through text or through Facebook Messenger or any of the content that you're creating, you can create around that model of focusing on family, occupation, relationships, and
Dreams.
that's what I should do.
Yeah. What's up?
Cool. So those are some of the things that I really learned, but then also looking at it from an aspect of your return on investment. Your return on investment, for me, it's more not just about how much money am I making from this, but also you've got to look at your time aspect. What's your ROI on time? I've had plenty of programs where it was free to use the platform for me to put my listings in there, but it took me about an hour to put my listings in there. So even though on an ROI standpoint, hey, this is going to look awesome, but it never generated any money. So in the long run, it wasn't really worth it. So looking at your ROI from a time standpoint and from a dollar standpoint, and making sure that you're tracking each of your activities to see if they're really worth it. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And those are some of the things that really stuck out to me in that first session today at Mega Camp.
Awesome stuff, Adam. You know, that is huge. The lead generation aspect of it, the lead conversion, the return on investment, all those things are really, really important whenever you start looking at your whole process as a business. So what I want to talk about today is for sale by owners and expireds, because this is something that a lot of agents focus on right up front, because that's quick business, right? It's not like your circle prospecting where you're trying to find the needle in the haystack. These people literally were just on the market yesterday and now they're off the market, which is a huge opportunity for every single agent. So the for sale by owners and expireds today, they really wanted to beat up the fact that you don't want to go into it as you need to list them over the phone. All you need to do is to get the appointment over the phone. People don't really listen to about 80% of what they hear over the phone. They kind of pick up. Exactly, right? They pick up on your energy. They pick up on your tone. If you're excited and you're wanting to talk to them, they will typically reciprocate that, and it's just kind of contagious. It's like smiling. If you're smiling and nobody knows why, other people just kind of start smiling, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy. So the big thing was in this class was that you want to try to get the appointment. That's the first thing. Number two is you want to come from curiosity. Understand why that person is selling for sale by owner, why they're trying to save commission, or do they even know where the commission goes to? Start asking those types of questions and create doubt. That was probably one of the strongest things that I heard today was create doubt. For instance, if I called Adam and I said, hey Adam, I saw your house is up for sale by owner. You know, I've seen it's been on the market for like 60 days now. That's a really long time. So what's going on? And just kind of planting that little doubt seed of our houses are selling in weeks to days, and your house has been on the market for 60 days, what's going on with your property? Why isn't it selling? Let me show you kind of what we do differently to sell houses. Another thing is a very powerful script that we heard today is you can either do one of two things. Number one, you can change your price, or number two, you can change your marketing if you're for sale by owner. Now, most for sale by owners aren't going to want to change what?
Their price.
Their price. So they have to change their marketing. So
Yeah.
an easy thing you can ask them is, when are you going to change your marketing tactics to adjust to what the market's telling you? Because what you're doing right now isn't working. So that was some of the greatest things that I heard today. Another great thing that a lot of millennials would probably respond to is texting. When was the last time you actually just texted a for sale by owner and said, hey, I see your property is for sale, just curious, when are you going to be hiring the right agent for the job to sell your house? Can I go get coffee with you and just talk about your property? That's another thing. Create a relationship with this person, because 70% of people work with the first person they meet. So if you go get coffee, you buy them a cup of coffee, and you get a $3 million listing, is that worth it? Absolutely, it is. So make those conscious decisions to put trust and to put energy into that relationship, and it'll come back. But it all starts with picking up the phone or texting, whichever one works for that in particular seller. Some people are very responsive with texting. Another thing that I learned, and this is amazing, amazing information, actually more people will check their Facebook Messenger than respond to text messages.
Yeah.
And think about that. How powerful is that? Because A, if I send a Facebook message to somebody, I can see whenever they've read it, which tells me they might be interested, they might not. With a text message, if they don't text me back, maybe they don't have an iPhone, maybe it's a landline, maybe it's an old number, maybe it's a Google number. I really don't know. There's a lot of different variables. But if somebody's on Facebook, I can see their profile, I can send them a message, I can try to set up an appointment, and they see as soon as they click on that, oh, Kurt saw me look at that message, and now I'm going to look like a jerk if I don't respond.
Yeah.
So there you go. So
And I've definitely used Facebook Messenger before. One example is I looked up a commercial property to see if it was for sale, because I had somebody who expressed interest in it. And I looked it up, went on to Sunbiz, found out the owner, and I looked at the owner on Facebook and sent him a message. That was the easiest way to reach out to him, since I didn't have a cell phone number. And I would say it was 3.5 minutes. He called me.
3.5 minutes. And can you make
That's
calls
how
through
long it took
Facebook?
him to Google my number, I guess.
Yeah. Can you make calls through Facebook
Yeah,
too?
you can make calls right through Facebook.
There you go. There's a lot of different options that you guys have. So this is kind of the tip of the iceberg. We've got a ton more information. Literally, I can show you all this stuff. I mean, look at this. These are all the, I don't know if you can see this. We took notes today that I probably got
Here, I got 'em
6
down.
pages of notes here. So we've got a lot of information that we're going to be sharing with everybody and just giving it out, because that's what we do as a team. We believe in sharing. This is information.
Sharing
that
is caring.
Sharing is caring. So hopefully you guys like this video. If you did like it, comment, share it, because there's somebody
Make
out
sure
there
to
who needs
subscribe
it.
so you can get our next videos that are coming up.
Subscribe to be notified as soon as we put some stuff out there for you to help you out. So awesome. Thanks again for watching.
Great.
Have a great rest of your day. See ya.